Ashley Forley from Ashley Horse Training. I'm a Happy Horse, Happy Life instructor and mentor. I'm here today with my young horse Paris, and we're going to show you 3 tips to teach your horse how to trailer load without using a trailer. So I like to make sure my horses can do a few key things before I even head to the trailer, and that's what we're going to show you today. So my first tip is to teach your horse to tie. You want your horse to be able to tie for at least as long as you'd ever want to trailer them. So if you're going to trailer an hour, they should be able to stand tied for an hour. I have some blocker tie rings here, and that's where I'm going to tie my horse up. I really like those because there's different settings you can put them on to help your horse. And if they get, just going to get her attention here. If they get nervous, it will release a little bit while keeping a drag on the halter. So it won't just set them free immediately, but it will allow them to drift and get away from the tie ring. Another really great place to tie a horse is in a stall. It simulates being tied in a trailer, and it's also pretty safe because there's not too far for them to go if they do pull back a little bit. So you want to get your horse used to standing tied for about as long as you're going to trailer them. You're not going to start with an hour. Start with 10 minutes, then 20 minutes, then 30 minutes. Usually after the 30-minute mark, they can stand tied for quite some time. Some tips for that is not to untie your horse when they're having a hard time. Try to wait for them to settle. So you want to remember the goal is teaching them to relax while they're being tied so that they can relax in the trailer as well. So that's tip number 1. I'll show you tip number 2. Tip number 2 to prepare your horse for trailer loading is to teach them to step up onto and back off of a pedestal, a platform, a bridge, a teeter-totter. So I'm going to show you a teeter-totter today and also a pedestal. The reason why you want to teach your horse to step off of it is a lot of trailers require a horse to back off. And if they've never had that sensation of stepping off of a platform, they may not do it or they may panic. So before I get to the trailer, I'm going to teach my horse what it feels like to step up onto something and also to back off. I'll start with 1 front leg, then I'll do 2 front legs. If that goes well, I can do 3 legs or 4 legs. In the past, I have not gotten her confidently all 4 feet on a bridge or a pedestal or a teeter-totter. So that tells me she's probably not going to trailer load all 4 feet in the trailer. So you'll know when your horse can do all 4 feet up on a platform that they most likely could do it in the trailer as well. So here I go. I'm going to ask her to line up in the middle. Nope, and she kind of wants to come this way as an out. So I'm just going to say, not that. Good girl. And she actually did both feet. I didn't really want her to, so I'm going to try it again, and I'm going to interrupt her if she goes to do the second foot. So I'm going to have to, nope, not that way, not that. There. Good girl, and then back off of it. Good girl. And then I'm just going to put a little energy out here because I don't want her going that way. I have to thunk her because I was telling her to move. Good. Now we're going to do 2. Nope, not that. There. Good girl. And if she wants to back off, I just encourage it. I don't want her to feel like she's trapped up there. She is unconfident about it. But that's not the answer. Not there. Nope, not there. Good. And you can see her legs are kind of frantic, like she's moving all over the place. She's not thinking. And there, I'm going to correct it because it wasn't in the middle. They're in the middle. I think she's under the teeter-totter. Just going to back her up. Good, step forward. I'm going to back her up. There we go. Good girl. She's a little too close. Back. And go again. Nope. So you can see she doesn't want to line up in the middle because she doesn't want to go on the, there we go. So it wasn't about her getting on it. I'm not forcing her to get on the teeter-totter, but I'm not going to allow her to run through my space, my personal bubble, to step on me, to shoulder me. So I'm very particular about that, and I will get firm if she comes this way. But I'm not going to force her up on the pedestal, or the teeter-totter rather. Good girl. Way better. So Like if I was gonna give this a score, 1 through 10, I'd say it's like a 3. It's not great. She's not confident. The worst thing I could do right now is go try to put her in the trailer because she's having a hard time stepping up onto this. I'm gonna do it one more time, and I'm looking for relaxation. So it's like she did it last time, but she also got off of it before I asked her to. So ideally, she would be able to stand here for any length of time, and then I could back her off. That was better. She still chose to back off, and I just encouraged it. So now I would like to go show you the pedestal. Just like I did with the teeter-totter, I'm going to do 1 foot, back it off, 2 feet, back it off. You can see here she's not ready at all to do the 4 feet. I need to do this a few more sessions in a row and get her really confident with the 2 feet to the point where she could just stand there all day. She's really good with the backing off part, so that's good. Let's head over to the pedestal. Now I'm going to use this pedestal to simulate stepping up onto a trailer. Let's see how it goes. I'm going to do 1 foot. Good girl. And then back her off. And she actually did the 2. You can see she's way more confident with the pedestal than she was the teeter-totter. Good girl. Now we're just going to relax. So I'm going to make this a good place to be. I'll give her some scratches. Good girl. And then I'm going to back her off before she decides to. That's good. And I'll test it one more time. Good girl. Really nice. So I'm sure you can see the difference in her confidence level with the teeter-totter and then here the pedestal. For whatever reason, the teeter-totter is harder. It might be because it moves a little bit and this pedestal doesn't. And as a prey animal, they're pretty adverse to being tangled up in something. So she doesn't want to be in something that's going to fall apart or move on her. But the trailer is going to be moving, so the teeter-totter will be a good thing to simulate that and to conquer and build her confidence. Next, we're going to head into the arena and we're going to play with sending her through some tight spaces. The third tip I have for you to prepare your horse for trailer loading is to get them really good at going through tight spaces. So I'd like her to go through relaxed and responsively. So here we go. I'm going to send her between these 2 barrels. No problem. I'm going to have her move her hindquarters over and then wait. And then I'm going to back her out. Send her back through. Go a little faster here. So she's definitely relaxed. That doesn't really seem to bother her. You could practice sending your horse into a stall or between a tower of barrels, which I'll show you next. Now I've got a tower of barrels, which simulates some higher heights like a trailer would have, and it's also still a tight space. So I'm going to bring her through. She obviously doesn't seem scared of the barrels themselves. We'll see if she can come through that space. Just allow her to stop. She looks like she's going to roll, but I'm going to ask her to turn around and back up. Good girl. Then I'll send her back through, and I'm just looking for relaxation and responsiveness. If she wants to stop and check it out, I'm not going to force her through. I'll back her up when she's done checking it out and then send her forward again. I don't want to push her at a possible threshold where she's a little nervous. Really good. Go one more time through here. I'm going to let her stop. That's kind of a threshold where she's not sure if she should go through. Just going to check it out. I'm not going to let her knock the barrels over though, so if she starts to kind of do that, I'm just going to show her that's not the goal here. The goal is to go through. And then disengage her hindquarters and come back around. Now I've got a tower of barrels with a barrel on top, so that's going to simulate something she has to go in between and also under. I've never done this one with her, so we'll see what we get here. And my goal here is confidence and that she goes through it with relaxation. So here we go. I'll let her check it out, but I'm not going to let her nudge it because I don't want her to knock it over. And at this moment here, I'm going to back her and then send her forward again. What a good girl. And then back. And this is a good skill to learn because she has to learn how to duck her head a little bit. She's a pretty tall horse for this tower. And I'm going to back her. So if she's checking out the tower or thinking about going through it, I'll leave her alone. But if she's thinking about rolling or she's going to knock it over, I'm going to back her up and then send her forward again. And then I'm going to back her up because she didn't really try any harder there, and then send her forward again. So the goal is to go forward, through and under, relaxed and confident. She's got her neck through, and there you could tell she thought about what was above her. If you have a horse that hits their head on the top of the trailer when they shoot their head in the air, you can teach them to go under things. And actually a low-hanging tarp is a really good idea for that one. Teach them to go under a tarp. Okay, I let her check it out a little bit, but I don't want her knocking into it. Back her up. Send her forward again. What a good girl. It's a good sigh. Just letting her relax here. We'll back it up. And I'm going to send her forward again. And back her up. Send her forward. What a good girl. What a good girl. And then I'm going to ask her to turn around. Good girl. That was pretty good. She's actually more interested in rolling than being nervous about the tower. So I'm going to have her come back through. What a good girl. So I thought that was really good for her first time with that tunnel or tower. You can see how each one of those skills, like tying, stepping up onto a pedestal, backing off a pedestal, using a platform like a teeter-totter or a bridge, and then going through a tight space and under a tight space, you can see how all of those things would set you up for trailer loading. And until those things are excellent, I shouldn't even bother with the trailer. So I know what I need to work on. That teeter-totter is definitely her hardest obstacle. And until I can get all 4 feet on that confidently, I'm not going to bother loading her into a trailer. So I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please like and subscribe or leave me a comment. And I'll see you soon.